Until the last day of his life, he was crafting brilliant chess puzzles. Tragically, he died during the siege of Leningrad, leaving his last chess composition unfinished. Today, we are diving into the world of legendary chess composer Leonid Kubbel, one of my all-time favorite. I will showcase some of his most beautiful etudes, packed with incredible ideas. Starting with the easier ones and progressing to the more challenging, we will uncover his genius together. Let's start. Why to move mate in 2? Let's go with this one. It's not so easy how it looks like. Basically, the black king is exposed by how to find the direct checkmate in 2. You can press pause and find it by your own. Now I'm going to show the logic of this puzzle and how to find it. So white pawn is almost like a queen, but it's not the motif of this puzzle. What can we try? If we go queen g8 now, then black have knight f7. And we unfortunately don't have a checkmate because on queen e8, the black king can escape on d5. So those squares are key one, right? The d5. That's a very important square because the king is always can go through this. If, for example, we goes with queen e8, king goes to d5. So what to do now? If we would take the rook on h5, then just simply knight f3. And black king also gets the opportunity to go here or take the pawn. So we are not speaking about the checkmate in 2. But we basically need to create somehow Zugzwang for black to make their moves really hard and to create a treat that we can use in the future. So what do I mean is to find the move d4. That is the winning approach. Because now we really want to go d5 checkmate. If black will move the knight from g5 like knight takes f3, then our pawn on e5 is protected, a side effect of d4 move. And we have now queen g8 checkmate because it's no longer knight f7 from black to block it up. So if the rook moves, we can do d5. The key line is what would be on en passant. Then we just have queen a2 with the checkmate. That's the long distance queen move, which is really tough to find. But believe me, in Kubbel composition, this puzzle is like, still counts as the pretty easy. So returning back again, d4 gives us a victory immediately because we can go d5 on the very next move. A very brilliant decision. The only one way to have a checkmate in this position. And now we are going to the next one. The next one puzzle is dedicated to the draw. White to move and we need to make a draw. We are not limited in the moves, but our position looks very dangerous. Black really wants to queen next move, and it looks like our bishop from d8 can't stop the pawn at all. But what we can think about is the some type of stalemate, because this pawn's near to the king looks really promising for this idea. So how to find this? If we want to have a stalemate, we need to sacrifice. So firstly, it's logical to try the knight sacrifice. We have h5 and f5 moves. We will see that the right one is h5. We will see it from the forward. Because after g takes h5, basically. Now, in some positions, it's enough for us to trade the pieces because the pawns from h line would be they would be really hard to promote, right? That's also an idea why it's better to play knight h5, not knight f5. What to do now? Now we need to play bishop takes e7. It's not so tough probably here to find the idea because on a1 queen we have a beautiful bishop a5, double attack on the diagonal, and after queen e5 it's a stalemate immediately. So that's why if black wants to play for the win, they need to play king f6, trying to stop our bishop e5. We need to continue with the idea by playing the bishop b6. Again, we want to play on a1 queen, bishop d4. The same geometry. Queen d4 is the stalemate. So if black wants to pretend to win, they need to play king e5 right now. And we repeat the idea with bishop a5. Now we want to play bishop c3 on a1 queen. That would be basically the same idea for us. All the time, same idea. And if king goes to d4, unfortunately we can't jump with the bishop out from the board. So we need to find something else, and we still can catch black pieces on the diagonal. The bishop comes to d8 right now. The idea of it that now on a1 queen, I'm ready to play bishop f6. And now it's a question who is playing for the win in this situation. So that's why black need to go to e5 back to stop bishop f6 from white. And we have an example of a positional draw. Bishop goes to a5 with the same idea of bishop c3, king d4, bishop d8, and that is a draw. No one can improve the gameplay and they need to agree to the draw. A very cute puzzle where white needs to find the draw and to put the imagination here on the table. So I mean, like, that's really great one. And let's go for next, which requires a hard calculations, to be honest. This puzzle is really about the calculations and finding the resources for your opponent. It looks like we should win as white, but the pawn on d1 is very dangerous. So white to move, white to win. How to find it? First of all, we are paying attention to the most forced line, rook goes to the d4. So black needs to play now d1, queen, takes, g7. It looks like the pawn is passing, but black surprisingly have the bishop g4 move, with the idea that after g8 queen they have bishop e6 with the double attack. That's reminding us something from the previous, right? So queen takes e6 the only, takes, and now we have a typical draw, like g4, e5, g5, e4. In this pawn races, nobody can basically win. And after e1, queen, position is absolutely equal. So the question is that moving from the starting, right, we played rook d4. Can we somehow improve the idea for white? And we definitely can. That is the way to solve it. We can start with the check on h4. That's a very tricky move right now. The idea that in case of king g3 or king takes g2, for example, in the same line, the position of the king on the g line is critical, because in the end of the same line, g8 queen is coming, and it's a pin, so it's no longer bishop e6 ideas. That's the point of it. So king g2 is not working, but let's try to be tricky as black and play king g1 to try to hide down to the pawn. But it's also not working so easy. We have rook goes to d4, and let's check out what is the difference in this main line, why the king on g1 is so good for white. When the same forced line was the promotion and the well-known for us idea bishop g4, we can, in the end of the day, promote our g-pawn with the check. So in this pawn races, now finally, we have the winner because of the g8 check. And this position after queen f2, queen like f7 or f8 is winning with the famous stairs technique when the queen is coming closer to the pawn on e2. By the way, if you want me to film a video about it, how to win such positions, type the comment. So that's like probably top 3 puzzles of Leonid Kubbel that I saw basically. And I will continue this series. I will continue this in YouTube Shorts. I need yours, likes, comments below. Did you enjoy it? So please give me the feedback, support me on my way, and I will show you more brilliant puzzles.